Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT is here. Let's get ready for round 4 in the second season of the 2021 Series Nations Cup on Gran Turismo Sport. Here we are in Sardegna Rail Track A for 20 laps by using the Red Bull X 2019 competition. We'll be ready to go by having a grid start with false start check along with 2 required tires by the mandatory. Racing soft and medium compound tires will be going in to have a good regulations to be suitable by having a best ultimate challenge whenever we're about to be joining in session. So let's grab our custom liveries and get ready to be on the track and have a balance of performance will be suitable to be on a good 100% on the power and weight. Do your best out there, folks. This is going to be a pretty good proud competition for having a good chance of having a good clean race. Before you enjoy watching the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some more videos if you like. Feel free to enjoy it anytime you want for the entertainment. Now it's time to get ready to start the race and let's begin. The second season of the 2021 Series Nations Cup is about to begin. Gran Turismo players in the Red Bull X 2019 competition will be going in to be in the starting grid at A-course track of Sardegna. Here's Hasselstrup in first place, followed by second place is Kakbase is now ready to go in the silver position. Third place is Woody Rat 24 is now going in to be in the bronze position at the go. And here's Pirabilla 7 is now ready to go in on to position number 4. Real Daddy T is here in 5th place, giving a good blue camouflage style. And we have Red Hot now going in to take 6th place. 7th place is Tadio Padan is now ready to roll. And here's myself in 8th place where the UDRS N-Sport Tech is going to be at the ready. And we have the 9th place driver, RBS 70_1 is now going white to be at the start. Mother 111 is here in 10th place. Very good, awesome livery. And here's I Took You Food Stamps is now taking on in 11th place. And here's the 12th place driver is Impulse Works is now ready to go in to participate. 13th place is Infamous Turtle, giving a good, nice Ferrari theme style variant. Asu KC is now going 14th place, will be at the go. 15th place is iFast Guy is now going True Blue to be at the start. 16th place is Start Tomorrow 2118 is now ready to go to have a nice Red Bull themed livery. And here's I Am Corn in 17th place. 18th place is Vans Racing 54 is now ready to go in to be at the start. And for the last place driver is Thea Prosperous 08 is now taking in last place. So I hope the handling is going to get much improved for the update according to the maintenance. So this one might take 5 seconds. We'll be going in for having a red light until we're about to be reached up onto the green. So keep a good hold on the brakes and make sure the traction controls will be switched over to BM1. So here we go, folks. Looks like this is going to be the perfect race to be in the 4th round in the 2021 Series Nations Cup, and Season 2 is going underway. Good luck out there, folks. Have a go fast to take on for the ultimate challenge. Now here comes turn 1. This is going to get a little bit dived in to avoid a collision. Just try not to be pushed off the track into the sand trap, and it looks like we got 3 drivers are now going off the track to be called in onto the yellow flag. And that means for UDRS N-Sport Tech to be dropped down from 8th place to 14th place is now moving on to take the next turn. Take exercise caution while you can because this is going to get a little bit difficult for having a most excited race. Now Sector 1 is clear, moving on in Sector 2 to be proceed forward, and N-Sport Tech is now going in to take action. Better make sure to keep a good respawn mobility out there in the Red Bull X 2019 competition. The rush is about to go on for the chase. Now on to the curve straightaway. Looks like this is going to get very tougher out there for taking the next turn at the left. Going ghosting is going to get much harder as it looks to be going back onto the physical form for only a second to go. Now it looks like Impulse Works is now moving on in position number 8. That means for the opportunity for UDRS in Sportec. And oh man, it looks like there goes. Looks like Impulse Works just barely tried to got this under control out there, folks. This is going to be giving a close call for sure. Now coming on over to take the next turn before moving on to the final turn, and RBS 70_1 is now moving on in position number 9. Lap number 1 clear, and Cockface is now going in to take 1 minute and 34.981 seconds is in the lead. This is going to be quite doing fantastic to go faster out there, folks. This is going to be the most clean, excited race to be in the 4th round. After taking turn 1, turn 2 and 3 is going to get much coast clear to be getting a good way to proceed. And now that we might take the hard spot out there. Oh man, it looks like Tadeo Padan is dropping down onto position number 8 by going ghosting to be moving on in sector 1 towards sector 2 at the end and go forwards. Luckily for UDRS in Sportec is going to be taking on the inside position to be going over to be on the curve straightaway. But now it's going to be a side-by-side between Tadeo Padan and UDRS is now going on for the high action. This one might give an extra space to go harder to be on the faster pace limits. That's the ticket. Now this is going to be the hard part out there to do the same. Inside formation, that one might give a good close eye out there for only 5 drivers of the Red Bull X 2019 competition to be in sector 3. Take a good eyes out there and exercise caution. Looks like one driver is slowing down, and that makes a double overtake for Sportec. Pulling the brake, and looks like this is going to be having a little bit sharp contact. Gotta have to stay on it. Don't lose the grip and regain control. Excellent. Now that's strategy to see how this race might come in general, folks. Moving on in position number 7 at the end of lap number 2. And here comes lap number 3, folks. Looks like this is going to be having a new record set for Keg Race for only 1 minute and 27.311 seconds. That one might give a good faster ways to be on the ropes out there, folks. The struggle is very challenging to go on for a faster pace challenge. Now taking on turn 4 to be dived in to be reached up at turn 5. Going in onto turn 6 to be in sector 2 at the end of sector 1. Folks, looks like this is going to be having a 4th place driver is now taking on for an ongoing defense. That one might give a good ways to... Oh man, it looks like that was so close, and looks like RBS 70_1 is now on 4th place by the opportunity. I took you through from stance is now taking on in 5th place to be dropped down, and it's about to be going side by side. Pull the brake, and looks like 3 cars are now going in for taking the next turn after the curve straightaways, and now leads up onto the end of sector 2 to be going in onto sector 3. Gonna keep an eye out. Looks like this is going to be having a quality check that might give a little bit disturbance. Keep it up, and looks like this is going to be quite doing excellent. UDRS in Sportec is now going in to be in position number 5. That was so wonderful out there for having a good patient moment when several opponents is still tries to keep it under control by their own X 2019 competition. Just gonna have to go charge them up and go faster to be in the stay rightful position. But wait, looks like RBS 70_1 is now going on for the faster pace. That one might take the opportunity to do the same. And there goes Hasselstrup is now going up onto position number 5. After taking turn 1 and 2 and go straight up back onto turn 3. And make sure turn 4 is going to be the only braking point that we might give a good exact spot to be passed through onto the sand trap. RBS 70_1 is still takes the chase, followed by UDRS in Sportec to be in sector 2 to be going over to be at turn 7. Luckily, the headlights are been called in by having a signal flash. Communication, just give a good ways to respond from RBS 70_1 to be called out on Hasselstrup. That one might give a signal call to be proceed onto the next turn to be pulled the brake. Inside formation is going to be giving a little bit possible out there. Gonna have to get close in. And RBS 70_1 is staying on the line of defense while UDRS in Sportec is entered in onto sector 3. Clearly, just gonna have to keep an eye out because at the end of lap number 4, lap number 5 is going to be coming in for only 15 left. just going to have to keep a good monitor check out there because every 5 minutes we'll be going up and over. And this will be a 30-minute time limit. We'll be giving a little bit time to spare. And here we go. Lap number 5, it's on the arrival. Insportec is now going faster onto the overtake and goes dive down onto turn 1 by the wrist. Luckily, this is going to be having 2 cars by having an incoming approach for UZRS Insportec. However, RBS70_1 is now passing. Oh man, looks like there goes, folks. Looks like it's Hasselstrup just really took a late breaking point by calling out the yellow flag. That we might have the instant replay that we might have to take a good look. Unbelievable. Hasselstrup almost barely had that chance to see it. Make sure the only breaking point strategy whenever we have to go faster is going to be the only hardest thing to take exercise caution. With all due respect, we're just going to have to make sure the practice makes perfect is going to be the only way we'll become very successful to become as proud X2019 racers. By the last second, after Tadeo Deplan is now climbing up onto 7th place, and that means where UZRS Insportec has the opportunity to go on the upper hand and moving on in position number 4. This is going to be quite doing an excellent moment out there, just like in the Gran Turismo World Tour back then. This is going to be quite giving a good daytime condition. It's going to be keeping a good ways to make a ways to shine. On to the last minute, we have Impulse Works is now going faster onto the side-by-side in lap number 6 to be entered in. Taking a lot of good pushing effort out there, and Insportec is going to be taking on for the early breaking point to be going in onto Impulse Works' current position from behind. Luckily, staying on in 5th place is going to be the only hardest thing to do, so keep an eye out. Only 4 laps remaining. We'll be going over to be in the pit strategy will be settled in. After taking Sector 1 clear, moving on in Sector 2 for Impulse Works and UZRS Insportec of the Red Bull X 2019 competition. Revving up onto the curb straightaway is going to be very challenging for increase the RPM before moving on to hit the braking point onto the next turn. So going to have to keep an eye out, pass on over, and Impulse Works is going to be taking on for the inside turn. Insportec just barely regained control of the error handling that we might have to proceed on to Sector 3. Safe and clear tight. Now moving on to the next turn before onto the final corner. And that we might have Tadeo Badon is about to be closing in about 1 second behind the gap to reach up onto UZRS Insportec in 5th place. And here comes lap number 7, folks. And we have an update on the fastest lap time for Hasselstrup. 1 minute and 26.437 seconds is now on the highest record set to be achieved to be in this lobby. He is going faster to see how he can do it to be climbing up from 8th place to be in the current position. Luckily, the challenge is about to go fast and challenging to get on the higher level. Almost there, just gonna have to keep a good mobility handling out there for having a good response. Halfway there towards 50% is gonna get nearly there, folks, so just gonna have to keep an eye out because the tires is about to get a little bit half a mount. Will be giving a little bit decrease if that will be reached up to be stopped at 50%. Insportec is still continues on for the chase to catch up onto Impulse Works in 4th place, and luckily for the top 3 drivers is gonna be quite giving a good exact moment by the position is going to be keeping up for having a highest level to be on the far distance at the pace. Total of distance, almost 20 seconds onto the gap distance for Kegface in 1st place to be on front. Grill Daddy T is now moving on in 2nd place to catch up onto Kegface in 1st place. And 3rd place is I Fast Guy is now taking on for lap number 8 is now entered in. Almost there to be reached up onto the hills to be at turn 1. That one might get the only perfect exact braking point will be doing the same. 1 Red Bull at a time. One faster ways will have to make a good improvement will be settled in for having a best driver ratings will be giving a good endorsement to achieve. take turn 4 and going right back onto turn 5 and going straight up onto turn 6 and 7 is going to be on the curve straightaway. Eventually onto turn 8, that might give a perfect braking point after turn 7 is going to be quite doing the most exact finest precision whenever it comes on for having a most handling effect that will have to keep a good steady balance. Hopefully this update for the maintenance is going to be quite giving a good settle in for having some fine adjustments, will be giving a good balance of performance, will be giving a good organizing prep. But thank you for Liberty Digital. All the hard work is going to be quite doing a good job to be doing a good work on round 4 of the Nations Cup. It is going to be quite doing a spectacular moment out there. Much appreciated, and some much positive enjoyment will be giving a good improvement for the Group X race car. On to the last minute, folks. Looks like the first and second place have already made it in onto lap number 9, and Impulse Works is now closing in to catch up onto iFast Guy in about a few exact gap distance and range in about 2 seconds. Gonna keep an eye out, folks. Looks like this is going to be giving an exact further distance is going to be on the battle for the chase. Better rev up the RPM, folks. Hasselstrup is coming in onto my current position in about 2.8 seconds. Gonna have to take exercise caution until it reaches up onto lap number 10 or 11. We'll be stopping over to be in the pits. Here comes sector 2. Just gonna have to take the inside formation lineup to be giving a good ways to proceed onto the curve straightaway. And hold on, looks like Impulse Work is closing in towards iFast Guy in 3rd place. Moving on in turn 8 is going to be reached up onto turn 9, and that one might give a good possible chance will be reached up where only one Canadian driver could probably have to go for the overtake. Gonna have to stay strong out there, iFast Guy. You can do it. Stay in 3rd place to be in one piece. But hold on, looks like this is going to be taking on for the next turn, and looks like there we go, folks. Looks like Impulse Work is now moving on in 3rd place by the overtake, and it's about to be going side by side towards the final corner, and I bet this is going to be quite giving a good slightly risk. Make sure, and oh man, looks like there it goes. iFast Guy just barely took a spun out at the final corner, and Impulse Work is now moving on in 3rd place. UDRS Insportec is currently to be staying forward to be in 4th place to be at lap number 10. Take your time, folks. Looks like lap number 11 is going to be the only exact stopping point we'll be going over to be at the pits. What in the most fantastic moment out there to see this kind of a spun out. But seriously, this is going to be giving a one respectful racing side-by-side dual battle out there to be reached up at the end of the lap. Hopefully, the instant replay that we might have to be called in by under investigation. So far so good. UDRS Insportec is still keeps going faster to be on the rocks. Now coming in closer at the end of sector 2 after taking the next turn. Moving on to be reached up onto Impulse Work in 3rd place by the ropes, and Insportec is currently to be in sector 3. Hopefully that will might give a good steady handling, that will might give a good ways to be mastered, a good capability for Insportec according to the masters of every corners of the track in A course of Sardegna. After taking on for the final turn, that one might have the pit stop will be called in for several drivers that will be giving a possible chance will do optionally. And here comes lap number 11 is going to be the stopping point for UDRS Insportec. Gonna have to continue on, otherwise different drivers will be having a chance to go on the overtake. In about 25% of the fuel remaining, this is going to be having an early call. We'll have to proceed forward onto the next lap. It's going to be on the tough risk. So make sure you guys, if anything possible, to be starting out onto the soft racing tires. Medium racing tires will be doing much longer. We'll be doing the better ways by the opposite. In a shooted line of defense for only 4 seconds from Tadeo Padan in 5th place, UDRS Insportec still continues on to catch up onto Impulse Works in 3rd place, by having an ongoing battle. But I bet that we might take a plenty amount of time that we might have to do the right thing. Mandatory tire requirements for only 2 times is going to be quite giving a suitable ways. We'll be doing much possible out there to be in the 4th round. And here comes Cakeface is now into the pits. I hope Impulse Works is now going to be going in to do the same, followed by the 2nd and 1st place driver will be switched over from the medium racing tires to be giving us good ways to be equipped. They're all finishing up onto the soft racing tires, and that means that we might have UDRS and Sportec will be going in to take the 3rd time to be stopping in. Required fuel is going to be the only recommendation out there, viewers. It looks like Impulse Works is now going faster to be in the lead. Cakeface is now coming out in the pits to be proceed onto 2nd place, and Grill Daddy T is now in 3rd place. Everybody is now entered the same categories to be in the pits to be used onto the medium racing tires. So it looks like it's all set and ready to go and get back onto the track. Right on cue for InSport Tech, and we have a surprise opponent is now coming in. Tadio Badon is in 4th place to be dropped down by the overtake on UDRS InSport Tech to be in 5th place. iFast Guy is now coming back onto the current position in about 1.2 seconds to go on the distance on the gap. Take turn 4 and 5 and moving on in Sector 2 at the end of Sector 1. The chase goes on for Tadio Badon in 4th place will be staying on over to be in the rightful position to be reached up onto the finish line. So good and so fantastic to see how the number of laps is going to be quite giving a good ways to settle in. And Impulse Works is currently to be dropped down onto 2nd place, while Cakeface is now coming back to be in 1st place to be in the rightful glory. I hope the 2nd place driver could probably have to go in onto the pits. That might give 1 required tires to go to be suitable for only a determination guess. Medium or soft racing tires is going to be the only option. Now let's go in onto the battle for 4th place. UDRS and Sportec is currently to catch up onto Tadio Badon in 4th place to be reached up onto the final corner after the curb straightaway is going to be giving it only possible proceed. And here comes lap number 13, folks. Gonna have to keep going forward. Only 7 more remaining will be reached up at the end of the finish line. Dive down onto turn 1. Make a way in turn 2 and 3. Pass on to the grass fields before entering in onto the sand trap in turn 4. Okay, that's more like it. Take turn 5 and keep a good steady on the tarmac and go straight up onto sector 2 again. Perfection, and keep a good clean effort out there to stay on without some scratches. But hold on, looks like going faster on the aggressive for Hasselstrup in 6th place to catch up with InSportec. 1 second to go on the distance. It's going to be quite getting a little bit remaining. Better make sure that InSportec could probably have to come up with a hard defense because Hasselstrup is going faster on the offensive, aggressive upper hand is going to be on the highest chances to be perceived forwards. And there goes Impulse Works to be using with the medium racing tires. That one might give the call to be switched in onto the racing soft. UDRS InSportec in the Red Bull X 2019 competition is going right back onto 5th place, and Impulse Works is still entered onto the pits to be switched in onto the racing soft tires. And there it goes, folks. Looks like there's Impulse Works, and now that one might get the best scene to be entered in onto turn 1 in lap number 14. Way to keep things up to see one racer to be coming out in the pits by ghosting mode. So once again, 5th place for InSportec by being overtaken from Hasselstrup to be moving on. That means it's going to get a little bit faster to be on a higher pace to be moving on in sector 2 to be at the curve straightaway. Gonna have to take a good focusing eye on the opponents. That one might give a good faster pace. We'll have to go up higher to be reached up onto the next turn. Switch it up onto the 7th gear and pass by over to the 100 market board. Gonna get closer. Gonna have to keep endure for Insportec to stay on in 5th place. And that means the #1 racing spot is going to be the only chance out there to be in the highlights to be part of the replay. Wheeling a turn. Now moving on to the curve straightaway at the final corner, we'll be keeping up a good pace. And looks like we have an update for the 6th and 7th place driver. I Am Core, I Fast Guy, and Red Hot Sea Peppers are now sticking in onto the battle for 6th place until it reaches up onto my current position will be reached over to be in the updates. Only 5 more to go, folks. This race is going to be much fantastic to be overcome our greatest successful racing achievement to be having a good clean race. But the struggle is always do the same. That was an excellent, good improvement handling and moving on to be in Sector 1 towards Sector 2. Insportec is still continues on to be reached up onto the ropes to catch up onto Hasselstrup in 2.2 seconds up ahead onto the gap. And reached up onto the curve straightaway, and Tadio Deban is about to be going faster to stay on in 3rd place until Hasselstrup could have the opportunity to be taking on instead. Reached up onto turn 8 and 9 will be proceed at the end of Sector 2 before going back onto Sector 3. Gonna have to keep an eye out, folks. If any drivers made a mistake that we might have to call out for the yellow flag, that should be quite giving them much possibilities for several drivers by the chance. Now let's see how Cakeface is going along out there. I bet one driver could probably have to stay in 1st place, followed by Grilled Daddy T in 2nd place. Cakeface is doing a great job out there to stay in front, folks. Luckily, he could probably have to take home the podium to be reached up at the finish line until this one might take a good, successful victory win. Moving on in lap number 16, only 4 more to go, and that one might take the most successful racing efforts to see how talented racers could probably have to be moving on to be in the current driving ratings that will be reached up to be on the B to A is going to be the only highest average. So meanwhile, Hasselstrup is now getting closer to reach up onto Tadio Badan in 3rd place, closer in onto the distance in about 1.5 seconds to go. Hopefully, Hasselstrup will be catching up onto Grilled Daddy T, and Cakeface is now going to be moving on to be part of the top 3 drivers to be part of the Americans. And hold on, looks like this is going to be giving a good, successful right thing response for Insportec by having a good driving skill ability. Moving on in Sector 3 to be passed on over to be in the Michelin Bridge to be passed on over to be at the final turn near at the end. Way to keep things up. The fuel is going to be quite going well out there by having a stable chance. And here comes the full straightaway. This is going to be having a side-by-side out there for Hasselstrup and Tadio Badan in lap number 17 to be entered in. I bet 2 of them are about to be having a good chances to see which one of them could probably have to stay in or go forwards. But still barely got the chance for Hasselstrup to get closer in onto Tadio Badan. Now moving on in turn 4 and 5, and that one might have to take Sector 2 is now going in to take turn 6. Moving on in turn 7 to be at the curve straightaway is going to get much harder out there, folks. And we have an incoming driver from 6th place. I Am Corn is now catching up onto UDRS Insportec in about 2 seconds from behind the gap to be reached up ahead. Hopefully, the defense is about to get a little bit nearly there to be struggle in. Gonna have to keep on racing to go faster. Now for the next turn, take the inside position and moved on to be in the most finest curves to be giving a blue glimpse. Come on, just gonna have to keep going forwards. Looks like that one might give a good turn to be well achieved by having a good clean turn. 6.2 seconds up ahead for Hasselstrup while taking the push to catch up onto Tadio Badan, and looks like they're going in onto the straightaway again to be reached up onto the next lap, and it's going to be 18 lap. 2 more to go, folks. Looks like this is going to be having a one good final showdown to see how Tadeo Padan and Hasselstrup will be battling out to take home 3rd place by the finish. This is going to be quite doing awesome out there for only the 4th and 3rd place driver. Canada versus US for the battle for 3rd place. This one might give a good racing moment out there to be part of the racing spotlight. Giving a little bit push away for Tadeo Padan from Hasselstrup. Moving on to be in the curb straightaway at turn 7 is going to get a little bit possible ways. We'll have to keep going uphill. And then that one might have 0.2 seconds behind to catch up. Is I Am Corn is now going faster by the overtake to be reached up onto UDRS Insportec. And it's about to be going side by side. Gonna have to pull over onto the brakes, and this is gonna get a little bit risky. Insportec has to stay in 5th place, and I Am Corn is now going to take it for the number 5 spot. Wow, that is so brilliant to see how I Am Corn can probably have to do it. This is going to be quite giving a good tricky ways to do this by the books. But it's not over yet. That one might have I Am Corn and I will be doing the battle for 5th place. Let's keep up and have a good push. So here comes the full straightaway at the final corner to be proceed onto lap number 19. 1 more to go, folks. Looks like this is going to be it. That one might take one excellent pressure struggle out there to see how fast the drivers in the Red Bull X 2019 competition will be dominating to be in the 8-course track of Sardegna road track is going to be quite giving a good successful racing moment. If anybody could probably have to be pretend as Igor Faga, that is going to be quite giving a good action moment out there to see this kind of a good ordinary competition. Make sure to see how Cakeface is going to be quite giving a good, successful, remarkable win. Winning spot is going to be quite giving a best ways to see how the 1st place driver can go. It looks like Real Daddy T is still tries to catch up onto Cakeface in about a farther gap distance to be moving on in the final lap. 34 seconds since the start of the race is now going to be getting much longer for almost 30 minutes. 30 minutes is going to get nearly there for only 2 minutes will be remaining. The battle rages on for 5th place to be in the battle. I Am Corn is now taking on the ongoing defense out there, while UDRS Insportec is currently into 6th place to be staying in. The slipstream is going to get much longer out there by using the medium compound racing tires. So here we go, folks. Looks like the final lap is about to begin. This is going to be quite giving a one last final showdown out there between several drivers who will be taking a rightful spot by taking any chances. I Am Corn is still takes the ongoing defense rush to stay in about 1.6 seconds to be in an increased defense, while Insportec is staying on in 6th place, while Tadeo Padan in 3rd place to be giving it do the same strategy, while Hasselstrup is still tries to take on for only one last push. And they have already made it in onto turn 7 to be at the curb straightaway. Better make sure this is going to get much further out there by having a lineup. Take your time, you two. The battle for 3rd place is going to get much stronger out there, just like the battle for 5th place. And Cakeface is now going faster to be reached up towards the final corner to be in sector 3. I bet this is going to be quite doing a good job out there to see how Cakeface, and there we go, folks. Looks like he have finally made it to be in the finish line by the checker flag. Cakeface wins the race in round 4 of the 2nd season in the 2021 Series Nations Cup. What a fantastic race to be in the Red Bull X 2019 competition at Sardegna Road Track A. What a most excited super fast race to be in the 1-make category to be giving a good moment out there. Real Daddy T did a pretty good job in 2nd place. Tadeo Padan reaches up in 3rd place. Hasselstrup did a good job in 4th place. I Am Corn finished in 5th. And myself did a pretty well job in 6th place to be trying to do a best effort out there. Wow. Now that's competition, folks. That was a Red Bull X 2019 competition to be in the 1-make race. And for the main outcome is going to be quite doing a job well done for all of us. Luckily, for only 2 drivers just barely marked D and F, hopefully it was a lot of good fun out there to be in the one-make race, to be in the most challenging race in Sardegna road track, to be in the letter A. Only 2 drivers remaining. RBS 70_1 and Fans Racing 54 is still running around, and RBS 70_1 finished in 14th place. And there goes for Fans Racing 54 in 15th place by the finish. Results confirmed, and that is going to be giving a good, successful finish by the outcome. That was a nice race, folks. That was a pretty good, excited, ordinary race to be giving a good improvement for the new and refreshed Red Bull X 2019 competition. So let's go and collect some earnings, and that one might give a good chat up. Racing Reports has been doing well. So Cakeface wins the race in round 4 in the Nations Cup of the Red Bull X 2019 competition. Grill Daddy T did a pretty good fast pace out there in 2nd place. Tadeo Badan is doing a great ongoing to be in 3rd place, while Hasselstrup is staying on in 4th place, is going to be giving a good push. And I Am Corn did a pretty good average job well done to be in 5th place after I've been overtaken from him. So this is going to be quite giving a good top 5 drivers by doing a good congratulations for only the best moments out there to be in the racing replay. But this time, 5 drivers is going to be quite giving a good ways to be congratulated to see how they did a pretty good job. It was so fantastic to see how the top 5 drivers out there will be giving a good, respectful racing moments to be in the competition by using the Red Bull X 2019 to be in the A-course track of Sardegna. So that means, folks, round 4 is about to be finished, and moving on in round 5 is going to be super fast. Get yourself prepared, you guys. Special stage Route X will be coming up in the next race. We'll be using with the M400 category as provided. 2 laps, we'll be doing the same thing back in the 2020 series. It's going to be doing much different by having some different selection vehicles to see who will be the fastest. So we have to find out and see. Thank you for tuning in on my video, folks. I hope you enjoy. So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads to be turned on, and the links on the description down below if you really want to see more. You can check it out on Instagram, Dependent Art, GT Planet, and other social media platforms if you really want to follow me. And don't forget to support my main project, Vision Total Drama, the next chapter of the Total Drama fan art to support the community. I'll be seeing you guys next time in the 2021 Series Nations Cup on Gran Turismo Sport, and I will see you later in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.